Hey guys, make sure to subscribe and hit that notification bell to be updated every time I make a new video. Thanks, let's begin. Hey guys, welcome back to the channel. My name is Brian and I am the Horror Shark. It's more of a prayer than a fin, but you know. Today I'm going to be ranking the Predator franchise, all 7 installments, and that includes AVP 1 and 2. This is kind of off the cuff, non-scripted. It's just my basic opinions on the franchise as a whole, from what I can remember and what my thoughts were on, and what my thoughts have always been on them, and placing the ones that are better or worse in terms of quality. So yeah, let's dive right in. Number 7 is The Predator. Now, the hell with this movie. It's like a comedy mixed with alien invasion, but the alien invasion consists of 2 predators who are actually at odds with each other. It doesn't really feel like the predator even cares about them until it realizes, hey, one of them has a disability. But the disability could hold the key to the future of the human race. It's like preachy. And then, the effects are awful. The budget for this film, which was mostly due to reshoots for the ending and certain characters that had to be replaced, was $80 million. Way too much. And I think it should have just been a more smaller scaled, cut back movie. I mean, I guess it would have been like $40-50 million regardless. But the ending and the changing characters and shots and scenes had to be a bit costly, to say the least. And then the marketing on top of it. This film must have had like $160 million going towards it, and the humor doesn't work. The characters are terrible and terribly annoying. Like the way I say annoying. Annoying. I just don't have fun with it. No lines are even chuckle-worthy. Like the part where he asks, "What the hell are you?" And he's about to answer him. He's like, "Okay, we're gonna find out maybe what the Predator is." Like, shut the fuck up, and he shoots him. It's like, he didn't even say anything! So many bad decisions. So many dumb decisions. I did not enjoy this movie. The only thing I kind of enjoyed were some of the kills, but that's being generous. Number 6 is AVP. This is controversial. Not because AVP is a good movie, because I prefer one of the other installments over it. AVP didn't have any balls. It didn't take any risks. Well, it took one risk that turned out to be terribly stupid. We're going to respect the source material, says Paul W.S. Anderson, who only did that once with Mortal Kombat. AVP, it's a mess. Like, it's an hour and 40 minutes, but it ends at an hour 28 or so. So it's like, well, that was quick. It's like every Predator and Alien movie has to be over 100 minutes or something. I never liked this one as a kid. Like, I was hyped for it. I was hyped. I was like 11 years old. I'm like, I want to see this in theaters. Never got to. I'm glad I didn't. The whole angle where the Predator, spoilers, teams up with a human woman, it's like nails on a chalkboard to me. I'm sorry, I just don't buy it. Like, I know there are some stories of predators joining humans and fighting with them. The way this is handled, it's like, oh, she lost everyone, and she's not that good of a warrior. I'll bring her along. No, it should have been like, nah, fuck you, you're useless. And it was PG-13. It's the only Alien and or Predator movie that's PG-13. It doesn't really push the envelope except for maybe a handful of minor scenes. But, seriously, it should have been just rated R. Like, it's got gore in the rating, but it's got barely any bloodshed. There were some cool ideas for kills, like the net cutting into someone, and then he was just going to stab him in the head, which is counterintuitive. Like, he's going to die anyway, why stab him in the head? They never actually have shown it entirely what happens when that net fully goes through you. And AVP is no exception. Number 5 is AVP Requiem. Now, why do I like this one over AVP? It's messed up. It's got several grotesque, messed up scenes that harken back to, like, Alien Resurrection in terms of gore. There is some pretty disturbing shit in this movie. The Pred Alien is the most guilty of that. It's a hard R, even if you can't see most of the gore. That's my biggest problem with this movie. It's that you can't see shit. During the daytime, it's even quite dark. But when you know what happens, it's disturbing as all hell. You can try to turn the brightness up on your TV, but you shouldn't have to. Yeah, but this was made 3 years after AVP. They learned from their mistakes. Like, well, yeah, that was PG-13 and ballless. Let's have some cojones with this one. Now, in terms of everything else in the movie, what do I like? Pred Alien was awesome. I was kind of hoping they would follow that storyline, and I'm glad they did. I do not like the plot. Like, on the poster, it's the alien and predator encompassing the world, going at each other. It's a small town. Like, oh, you don't have that much money? Well, we'll make it a small town. And the characters are morons, assholes. Why do that? Why have these characters that are just so dim-witted? It makes you want to root for them, but you don't want to root for them. But it's forcing. Like, these are the main characters. You gotta love them. You gotta enjoy watching them. But I don't. The only character I can remember the name of is the brother to one of the main kids. His name is Dallas, because that's the name of the captain in the first Alien. So, everyone else says, like, who the hell were you again? Number 4. Kind of in the middle here. We have Prey. Yeah, I know. I'm in the minority thinking that Prey is not as good as Predators. But that might change given more watches. Prey is an awesome movie. If we jump from bottom of the barrel, low tier 3 to an actually really good movie, like it just goes from... Prey is really good. I know some people are going to hate it because it's unbelievable. Like a 90-pound Comanche warrior woman who becomes a warrior, I guess. Not, she doesn't start off as one, but she wants to hunt, and she can take on a predator. But that's not really what happens. She has to avoid every one of his blows and has to be crafty with weapons, and it's got to be established that she's not going to be able to take a predator on with hand-to-hand combat. Number 3 is Predators. I saw this one in theaters. This was actually my first one I saw in theaters of the Predator movies. I was going to see AVP Requiem, but things came up, and I was going to see the first AVP, but I did an Alien Resurrection, and came out when I was like 4. It was actually my brother's first R-rated film in theaters. I saw it with him, my dad, and myself, and it was okay. I've watched it more and more, and it really does seem like they had some good ideas going on here. And those ideas were carried over into the future films that, well, let's say future film. Like the Pred Alien Dog, the Pred Dogs. What the hell? In The Predator, they're there for comic relief. In Predators, they're vicious. They almost kill some people. And, they get pretty close to their targets. They're like feeler dogs. Like, they're trying to test the humans, see how strong they and how witty and quick they really are. Because the Predators and Predators are not that smart. They're kind of... I forget what they call them. They're like newbies in a way. They're great hunters, they're great killers, no mercy, but they're not the most skilled. That's why they're brought to that planet, so they can learn to hunt. And that's what the Predator was in Prey, so it makes sense somewhat. But Predators had a great cinematography, great acting, pretty much all around. Action was awesome. There's great kills and such. I really enjoyed it. Number 2 is Predator 2. This was awesome. It feels like the most natural continuation to Predator. Some people don't like it because it doesn't have Arnold Schwarzenegger and doesn't take place in the jungle. I'm like, well, I guess you just want the same thing over and over again. Like, I wouldn't mind having Arnold back, but don't have it take place in the jungle again right after. That's just derivative. Predators got away with it because it had been, like, 20 years, and they were trying to feel it out, like, oh, if we bring back to the jungle, will people like that? They took a chance with Predator 2, setting it in the city. A different kind of jungle. I love that. The characters are great. Danny Glover's awesome. Bill Paxton is annoying, but in that charming kind of way, I guess. Great cast all around. Gary Busey is amazing in the movie. This is shortly after his motorcycle accident, I believe. Predator 2 is where it was at for the sequels, and it's still where it's at. You can't go wrong. Unless you want to get better. Number 1 is the original Predator. I'm a sucker for the jungle setting. I prefer it to the city slums, and that's one of the reasons I prefer it over Predator 2. Predator 2 does a great job with world building. Predator 1 is just a simple story, and I like that. It's not too over the top. It's not too... Well, okay, it is over the top. But it's not too over the top in the sense where the story is just all over the place. They have a certain agenda, and they destroy all the enemies. That's their mission. And then they have to have this new threat. So I think it works. It works really well. The characters are great and very memorable. Like, say what you will about Predator 2, but I remember about 3 of the characters from that movie most. Like Gary Busey, Bill Paxton, Danny Glover. Maria Conchita Gonzalo, I think her name is. I kind of remember her in the movie. I thought she was Vasquez from Aliens for the longest time. But it's not the same actress. Oh, I didn't think the character was Vasquez. I thought she was the same actress that played Vasquez, but she's not. You got Poncho, you got Hawkins, you got Billy, you got Dutch, you got frickin'... I'm trying to remember the character names, but I do remember the actors, like Carl Weathers, Jesse the Body Ventura. Freaking amazing cast. And I love it. And the Predator, its design is just simple and perfect. Predator, despite it being a simple story, if you took the Predator out, it'd still be a cool jungle action movie. I still think it's needed the alien threat. Otherwise, it'd be like a half-an-hour movie. So, yeah, that's my ranking. Thank you all for watching, and Lion Brian Gatto, the Horror Shark. Make sure to like, comment on, as well as share this video. Like my Facebook fan page, and support me on Patreon, or even $1 a month will help keep the channel going on strong, and I greatly appreciate it. Plus, you get access to body counts and other music videos because of copyright and restriction. Also, check me out on Facebook, Twitter, and TikTok. All the links are down here on the bottom of the screen. Hit that notification bell to be notified every time I make a new video, and as always, subscribe.